believe they're 100% correct that speed is a factor in a lot of the crashes and the incidents that we respond to. Just this week we had a fatal accident that involved speed as a major consideration as part of that crash. So obeying the posted speed limits, but just because something's posted at a certain speed limit doesn't mean that's the speed you should be driving out there too. You got to drive to the conditions. Especially here in rural North Dakota, we have weather that's a huge factor. We have large farm implements moving around all the time, field to field and farm to field, which creates a big hazard out there for everybody. And even though the area looks wide open, and yes, we're very flat up here, but you can still get surprised. This time of year, a lot of ditches haven't been mowed yet. You can get wildlife coming up out of those ditches. You can get livestock that come up out of those ditches that you just don't see it. And especially those times early morning and dusk when the light's changing on you, it becomes a big hazard out there as well. So razor tracking has been very beneficial for our department. First and foremost, we can see where our units are at. So the dispatcher who's receiving those calls, she can look on the computer, see exactly where each unit's at, and she's able to dispatch the closest unit to whatever incident she's dispatching at that time, which greatly improves our response time to those incidents. It also helps if they're in an area that we haven't traveled a lot, or maybe they're off-road somewhere. You can get close to that area, but you can use that razor tracking to pinpoint exactly where that unit's at. It makes a big difference as far as being able to find where they're at. We've also used it at times where we get a complaint about maybe citizens are saying they're not seeing patrols in a certain area or something like that. We can actually go back and see where units have been using the razor tracking. We're a little over 870 square miles here, and you know, that's a lot of area to cover for sure. And for us, it's very beneficial as well. We've got one of our neighboring counties also uses razor tracking, so we have them on our system as well. We can see where they're at, they can see where we're at. And one of our ambulance services is also on razor tracking, and so that's been very beneficial as well. You have to pay attention to those weather conditions out there and the road conditions. It doesn't have to be wintertime and blizzarding out to have a hazard either. We have some pretty severe summer storms, a lot of washouts, that kind of thing, and if you're not paying attention, you know, culverts get washed out, roads get washed out, and you could get in trouble real quick. So it's really important to pay attention to those weather conditions that are out there. Construction zones this time of year is another huge one. And they sneak up on you sometimes. They do a pretty good job marking them, but you got to slow down in those construction zones as well.